My dear, I know that I can be very silly at times, perhaps even a little lost in my own world. I often find myself daydreaming, drifting through thoughts and emotions that seem too vast to explain. Most of the time, I live in my imagination, a place where feelings are louder than words and where love feels infinite. I don't always care about what others are saying or how they perceive me because my world, though small and strange to some, feels more real when it's filled with sincerity and emotion. I know I can seem detached from reality at times, but it's not because I don't understand it, it's because I want to believe in something greater than what the eyes can see. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, someone who still believes that matches are made in heaven, that souls find each other for a reason, and that love, true love, is never an accident. But don't mistake my romantic heart for delusion. I am also a practical person who sees the world as it is. I understand that not every love story has a happy ending, and that sometimes, even when two hearts are perfectly aligned, life can take them in different directions. I know that nobody can predict the future, who knows what tomorrow might bring. Life has its own plans, and often, those plans don't follow our desires. Yet despite this uncertainty, one truth remains crystal clear to me: I am deeply in love with you right now. That is my reality, the one thing I know with absolute certainty. And in this moment, I want to love you with my whole heart, without fear, without hesitation, and without the weight of overthinking. What we have is the present, and that's all any of us truly have. I want to give it everything I can. If I love you with every piece of my heart, if I open myself completely and share with you all my deepest thoughts, fears, and dreams, then no matter what happens later, I will have no regrets. Even if life decides to pull us apart, even if we must someday walk separate paths, I will never look back with sadness or resentment. I'm not afraid of heartbreak because, to me, heartbreak is proof that I have lived and loved deeply. I don't want to protect my heart by keeping it locked away. I don't want to rob it of the chance to experience something so beautiful and pure. People often say that when a person leaves this earth, they see flashes of their life, moments strung together like a film of memories. At that moment, they don't regret the times they were vulnerable, they regret the chances they didn't take, the words they never said, and the love they were too afraid to give. I don't want that for myself. I want to know, at the end of my life, that I loved with all I had, that I didn't let fear or pride stop me from expressing what I felt. If I don't keep loving you wholeheartedly, I know I will regret it one day. But if I do, if I love you with honesty, courage, and all the strength in my heart, then no matter how things unfold, I will carry peace within me. I will know that I stayed true to what my soul wanted. I understand how the world works. I know love isn't always enough to make things last. Life demands effort, patience, and compromise. Yet despite knowing all this, I still choose to wear my heart on my sleeve. I still choose love, even when it's uncertain, even when it might hurt, because I believe it's the right thing to do. I believe that the truest form of strength lies in vulnerability, in having the courage to care deeply in a world that often tells us to hold back. I want to love you so intensely that my every breath whispers your name, so much that even when time fades and memories blur, my heart will still remember how it felt to be yours. I have always believed that whatever you do in life, you should give it your all. Half-hearted efforts never bring fulfillment. That belief has guided me through every chapter of my life, and it's the same principle I apply to love. Loving you is no different, it's not something I do halfway. It's something I surrender to completely. My love for you isn't dependent on a promise of forever, nor is it based on whether you feel the same way. My love exists because it was meant to. It doesn't need validation or reciprocation to be real. This love isn't a burden I carry, it's a blessing, a sacred feeling that I'm grateful to have discovered within myself. You've awakened something in me, a tenderness, a quiet devotion, a sense of purpose that I didn't know I was capable of. Every day, I find new reasons to love you. Maybe it's in the way you speak, or the way you smile, or simply the way your presence makes the world feel softer. I hope that as time passes, my love continues to grow, not in intensity alone but in understanding, in patience, and in gratitude. I don't know what the world will say about me, perhaps they'll call me foolish, or naive, or too emotional, but I don't care. The world can misunderstand me all it wants. What matters is that my heart remains pure in its intentions. I hope it always holds you at a pedestal, not out of blindness, but out of the reverence that true love naturally inspires. So yes, I may be silly, dreamy, and overly sentimental. But I am also brave enough to love without guarantee, to give without expectation, and to feel without restraint. And in a world where so many people are afraid to care too deeply, I think that kind of love is something worth cherishing. My love, today feels like one of the most beautiful days of my life. I woke up with an unusual lightness in my heart, and I have been smiling ever since morning. The reason is simple: you visited me in my dream last night. It was such a tender, vivid dream that even after waking up, I could still feel the warmth of your presence lingering around me. It amazes me how just a fleeting image of you in my sleep can transform an ordinary day into something extraordinary. There's a glow in my heart, a spark that keeps me smiling for no apparent reason. Look at the magic you bring into my life. Even when you're not physically here, you still find a way to make me happy, to fill me with peace and joy. Sometimes I wonder how much happiness I would feel if you were actually here with me, not just a figure in my dreams but a real presence before my eyes. The very thought of that possibility fills me with an emotion so strong that it borders on delirium. I can almost imagine your smile, your eyes, your voice, and I know, in that moment, I would lose all sense of the world around me. My dear, you don't even realize what you mean to me. You are not just another person who happens to exist in my life. You are my entire world, the source of my happiness, the center of my dreams, the reason behind my strength, and the peace within my soul. Whenever life becomes difficult, whenever I feel weighed down by challenges or anxieties, I close my eyes and picture you sitting across from me. I imagine the way you would look at me, gentle, calm, reassuring. I try to think of the words you might say to comfort me, and it works every time. Somehow, even the thought of you has the power to ease my pain. It's as though your spirit travels across the distance and touches me with its quiet strength. That's how deeply you live in me, so much so that my imagination has learned to borrow comfort from your presence, even when it's only in my mind. I love you more deeply than I can ever put into words. Few people would understand the kind of love I carry in my heart. It's not ordinary affection, not fleeting attraction, but something far more profound. Only my heart truly knows how special you are to me. You are the one I have prayed for, again and again. You are the one my soul recognized long before my mind did. Every breath I take carries your name, every heartbeat whispers your memory. Sometimes I feel intoxicated by this love. It wraps around me like a sweet, endless melody that I never want to stop hearing. You are in my thoughts throughout the day. Even when I'm busy, when I'm surrounded by people or tasks, there's always a quiet corner of my mind that belongs entirely to you. When I sit down to eat, I catch myself wondering whether you've eaten as well, whether you're taking care of yourself. At times I worry about you more than I worry about myself. I pray to God to protect you, to keep your path smooth and your heart untroubled. I ask Him to let you be happy in every moment, to shield you from pain and hardship. And at night, before I close my eyes, I whisper one more prayer, that He lets me see you again in my dreams. Those dreams are my sweetest gift, my small window to the world where we exist together, free from distance and time. Of course, I don't get to see you every night, but when I do, it feels like a blessing. I wake up with an inexplicable joy that stays with me the entire day. Maybe it sounds silly, maybe I'm being overly sentimental. But I don't care how it sounds. The truth is, I am a hopeless romantic when it comes to you. I find beauty in every thought connected to you, in every tiny thing that reminds me of your existence. Loving you is not something I question or analyze, it's simply what makes me happy. I don't need logic or reason to justify it. My heart has chosen you, and that choice fills my life with meaning. Sometimes I think about how wonderful it would be if my love could somehow reach your heart. Maybe one day you'll feel it, like a gentle whisper in your soul. Maybe you'll think of me and, for a brief moment, feel the warmth of my affection without even knowing why. And maybe, in that instant, you'll be moved to reach out, to say something, to let me know that you felt it too. But even if that day never comes, I'm at peace. Because for me, loving you is not a transaction, it's a gift I give freely. It's the purest expression of who I am. You have become such an integral part of my being that I can no longer imagine my world without you in it, even if only as a memory or a dream. My love for you has no conditions and no expectations. It exists simply because it must, because my heart feels fuller when it beats with thoughts of you. I don't need to possess you, I don't need to prove anything. I just want to keep loving you more deeply with each passing day. Maybe I'm living in a dream, maybe I'm lost in a beautiful illusion, but I'm happy here. This love, as unreal as it might seem to others, gives me strength, purpose, and joy. It lights up my days and soothes my nights. So, let the world think what it wants. I will continue to love you, quietly, endlessly, and completely. Because in the end, that's all I truly want, to love you, and to let that love be the most beautiful part of my life.